Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show reviews. I am Jen Thépuppét, your resident Fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And today we're going to be reviewing the third episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, entitled Power Broker, and of course it is streaming on Disney+. So, was it good? Was it bad? And should you be watching? Stick around because I have opinions. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 3, entitled Power Broker, is about, well, obviously, the Power Broker. In particular, Sam and Bucky trying to track this guy down, or at least track down where the Super Soldier Serum is coming from. And to do so, they need a little special help from a convicted war criminal and guy spending a whole lot of time in a German jail cell, Baron Zemo. Yes, that's right. Last time we saw Baron Zemo, he was failing, or maybe he succeeded in driving a wedge between the superheroes back in Captain America: Civil War, and he's been languishing in prison. I'm gonna assume he actually spent the 5 years in prison. Maybe he didn't get snapped. I don't know. They didn't actually explain that. Now, people aren't going around saying, "Hey, remember those 5 years I totally wasn't here." No, people aren't exactly volunteering these things. That said, so we see Sam and Bucky resorting to something they didn't want to do, which was go talk to Baron Zemo and I guess break him out. Even though Sam didn't, that's not exactly what Sam wanted, but hey, you know what? Bucky's like, hey, I do what I want. I do what I want. So we follow them getting Zemo out, and Zemo following a lead, or at least a connection that he had before. And that's a Selby all the way in Madripoor. So we get treated to the fun of, I almost call Zemo, it feels like he's like the anti-Bruce Wayne, if that makes any sense. He complete with a British, maybe nominally British sounding butler and a private jet. It's like we saw in the Nolan Batman films, and also in the Zack Snyder, Zack Snyderverse stuff. Just a lot of a butler and a private plane, and we're flying around and doing things, which is nice. I mean, I guess if you're going to break out an international war criminal, you may as well do it in style. And, of course, we get to see the island nation of Madripoor. It's like Singapore, but full of criminals. Full of criminals and no flogging for spitting on the sidewalk. That sort of thing. A place where someone with a criminal background could go and hang out and make some connections. Apparently used to be a pirate place. Of course, Madripoor, if you follow any of the Marvel stuff, has been the site of many things involving lots of assassins and a lot of death and a lot of organized crime. Wolverine, Elektra, Daredevil, all sorts of people have made their way out there. And it's really nice to actually see this shining metropolis played out on the screen. Looks much nicer than it actually is in real life. But then it sort of looks very friggin' generic too. Generic. It looks very generic also. Looks very much like many other places you've seen, as if, I don't know, these shows are all being, filmed in the same places. It couldn't be that. Just everything, just like any shipping yard, looks just the same, I guess. That said, we do get to see Falcon and Bucky and Zemo kind of doing some undercover work, spy stuff, that sort of thing. I don't know how anyone doesn't recognize these people. Of course, Zemo's not going in. He's using the fact that he is Zemo to be, his card, I guess, his entry card into this whole situation. And of course, Bucky playing the Winter Soldier. He pretending to be Winter Soldier. And in a fun, hilarious turn, we get to see Sam trying to look like I don't even remember the guy's name, like some kind of American baller or whatever you want to call it. looking completely out of place in the suit, but and having to drink something really weird, gnarly, involving snake venom sacs, I'm sure. So it's all in good fun. And of course, afterwards, they meet up with their contact. It doesn't go quite the way they expected to because, unexpected phone calls at weird times. Hey, just pro tip, if you're out in the field, maybe cut your phone off. I'm just saying, whoever's calling you, they could probably wait, especially if you got guns trained on you. But this leads, of course, to our not seen in a while, Sharon Carter showing up and being a total, badass and still kicking ass and taking names. In the name of liberty? Not quite. In the name of, hey, I've been burned and they won't extradite me for helping out Cap, so I'm totally just gonna, hang out here and, fence stolen art and whatnot and just be, as she said, if I'm gonna be on the run, at least I'm gonna do it in style. She's kind of living it up, but she sticks her neck out for Sam and Bucky, and I guess Zemo a little bit, even though she points out, hey, I totally put my neck on the line to help you guys out before to catch this guy. Now you're working with him. But, strange times, strange bedfellows. And then we go from there to tracking down the guy who's making the super soldier serum. And it turns out he does work for the power broker. Who is this power broker guy? Well, it should be fun to see that dude. I'm assuming we're going to see him eventually. But what we do see is that he has put up a bounty on the heads of Bucky and Sam, in connection with the death of the woman Selby, which is funny. It just seems to be leading people towards trying to kill them. But once you kill off like a few of those mercenaries, no one seems to care. Interesting. And in the meantime, we also, of course, we have back with fake Captain, what we call Dumb Face Cap, and his sidekick Token. They're trying to track down the same leads and realize, you know what? We're not really good at this detective stuff. Why don't we just, I don't know. Why don't we just follow up on whatever Sam and Bucky are doing? They'll probably get it right. Smart guys, because they're not getting jack shit done. And at the same time, we do get to see the Flag Smashers, what they're up to. You know what? Are the Flag Smashers the bad guys? It's hard to call that. They seem to be being local Robin Hoods, but of course, there seems to be a little bit of pragmatism from their leader, Carly Morgenthau, and she does something a little kind of messed up at the end of everything. Robin Hood didn't exactly murder people, but that seems to be okay with Carly. And of course, we got the power broker circling around, in the background. All that stuff's going on. But, Zemo, leads them on to another possible lead. And at the very end of the episode, the big pop moment, at least for me, when I finally realized, what the hell are these little things that Bucky's picking up? Of course he would know, because he has a Wakandan-made arm made of vibranium. So it didn't take too much of a leap to realize he could probably feel or detect somehow these little beads, the Kimoyo beads. And he finds in an alley one of the Dora Milaje. And you know what that means. Last time somebody fucked with Wakanda, they sure did try to track his ass down. And Zemo definitely fucked with Wakanda by killing T'Chaka. So it's on. And of course, Sam was figuring that anyway, but Bucky does what he wants. So that's basically was the rundown for the episode. Not as much happened as you would think from all that. There's some action sequences and everything. We're moving the story forward. All that good stuff. We're definitely setting up. The second act is definitely underway. We're moving forward towards the central conflict of the second act, which I'm going to assume is tracking down the power broker. Figure out what he's got going on. What's his angle here? Clearly, he's trying to get in on the super soldier game. In addition to just being, hey, a guy that just gives people superpowers or super gadgets or whatever. I want to see who this dude is. They're just kind of teasing him right now. And, of course, Wakanda is involved. Whoa, what's going on there? It's going to be on and popping next episode, especially because two of the people, Sam and Bucky, they're both friends of the Wakandans. How are they going to square this circle? All very interesting stuff. That said, so what did I think about this episode? You know what? It was good. I thought it was good. It was a bit of a slowdown from the previous episode, which was full of a lot of really cool stuff. This felt like an exposition episode, really just kind of, setting up more pieces for things to happen later on down the line. Some action, nothing that was overly compelling. A lot of very samey action from, that I figure I would see in a Black Widow or a Captain America thing. A badass, well-trained person kicking the butt out of people that nominally should be more professional, more badass at what they're doing, get their ass kicked. A lot of standing around and talking this episode. The prison break bit was cool, but you know what? Not the best prison break I've ever seen. I just wonder, an international criminal like Zemo, why are they spending so little time keeping him, under lock and key? It just seems like he was just some rando that was just in a cell. And also he had a card key. How do you do that? Okay, I don't know. There was not, no Sam wasn't suited up. It was just really more like grounded action this time around. But it just wasn't as interesting as it has been in previous episodes. Really, the most interesting things is what they were hinting at or talking about, and not so much, the actual the revelation themselves weren't as interesting as the hints at the revelations coming down the line. So I did enjoy the episode. I think it's a good connector episode to what I think is probably going to be a more action-packed and interesting. Probably going to end the second act. So I'm anticipating this has set up many things that are going to be cool in the future. So that's my feeling about it. You should definitely be watching it. This is a great show. Great for anyone that like the MCU, anyone that is really so even casually a fan of this. This is going to scratch that MCU itch for you, I think. And I'm sure other people probably got more mileage out of this than I did. I just feel like there could have been a lot more, I guess, to pull me into the various bits. And that also that rave scene. Come on, Marvel. What is it 1999 again? We're doing Eastern European club scenes again. Don't do that. Just don't. Especially Zemo and that little two-step he was doing. What was that all about? So, all right. Well, that's how I felt about the episode. What did you guys think about this episode? Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun with it? And how did you like my review? Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about it. Of course, if you want to talk a little more at length, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or on Twitter @supernotfunnys1. And, hey, are you subscribed? You're not. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Get down there, hit that subscribe button, and join the Super Not Funny Show family. Of course, you can always hit that notification bell so it will let you know when we drop new content. Every week we're doing reviews and reactions and, of course, anything else that floats our pop culture boat. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks for joining me on this review of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 3. Come back next week for the next review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 4. Until then, I have been Jen Thépuppét, your resident Fabricant and commenter extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.